The Switch October Report with your host, Redkwan. Hi, hello, and welcome to the Nintendo Switch October 2018 report, the underwhelming and underperforming series that will tell you about what's happening with Nintendo Switch games, announcements, and more. Actually, probably not more. Three Things just has a better ring to it. Now, there are two big questions here. One is what happened to the Switch September report, and the answer to that is I dislike the month of September. Also, the fact that I blew way into October on this one and nobody searches for Nintendo Switch September 2018 in October 2018. So that probably wasn't a good marketing move from the get-go, but perhaps a better question is, where was that cool cat Redkwan for the past month? Yeah, it's actually pretty funny when you think about it. Videos at least once a week for a year, and then all of a sudden, nothing. You might have thought I gave up on YouTube or got brutally murdered. Most likely nobody noticed or cared, but in all honesty, I just lost my voice for a really long time. Let's see if they'll buy that excuse. Hello all 560 of you, I'm Redkwan, and this is the Nintendo Switch October 2018 report. What announcements did we get back in good old September? Well, we got that Direct. Everyone's already talked about that thing to death, so I mean, now it's my turn. After going and looking up a recap of the Direct, because I forgot everything that happened, let's take a look at the things that happened. The first big announcement by Redkwan standards was Luigi's Mansion 3. Luigi's Mansion 3. I don't know what else to say. To be honest, the trailer didn't show us all that much, and I'm not all that big of a Luigi's Mansion fan, but it looked like Luigi's Mansion. The next big thing that was announced was New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which at the same time is one of the worst names for a game I've ever heard, and one of the worst games they could have chosen to port. Why would Nintendo decide to port one of the most generic and unloved games from the Wii U? I honestly figured they would have tried to step away from the New Super Mario Bros. Series for a while because of how well the more open direction of games has taken them. But I guess Nintendo makes too much money off of ports. You can't really fault them for it because they pretty much equal free money. But they anger Redkwan mildly, and that's what really counts here. It certainly isn't one of the bigger games that was announced, but I want to mention that we're also getting Katamari Damacy Dream Roll, which is cool because it's weird, which is good, it's good, which is good, and it's probably pretty darn cheap, which means I actually have a shot of playing it. I'm incredibly cheap, by the way. But yeah, it looks like a fun game, and it's something of a cult classic at this point, so it was actually one of the best announcements for me. Then we got to the Nintendo Switch Online. What a divisive service that's become. Some people say it's cool because of the added features and because of how much cheaper it is than the PlayStation and Xbox versions, and others say it's a pile of hot garbage scam because it's basically no better than previous Nintendo Online systems, but you have to pay for it to get NES games nobody's cared about for 25 years. What do I think? You're both wrong, you flabsticks. Here's the thing. I don't have the online service. I don't care to have the online service. For me, it probably isn't worth it. The thing is, while PlayStation and Xbox are basically built to play games online, Nintendo consoles really aren't. Sure, there are games like Splatoon and some might argue Mario Kart or Super Smash Bros., but on the whole, Nintendo games are either way better suited for local multiplayer or are just single-player games. If you aren't big into Splatoon anymore, there isn't really a whole lot of reason to get the service, I don't think. I don't think NES games are really something that people care about anymore, except for an hour for the novelty. And the whole cloud save thing really isn't all that useful for most people. Also, the voice chat is still wonky as far as I've heard, so I wouldn't say it's a scam, but it definitely isn't a must-buy unless you're going to be playing a lot of Splatoon, Mario Kart, Smash, or whatever online. Back on the game side, we're also going to be getting not 1, not 2, not 10, but 8 Final Fantasy games. I'm actually pretty excited for those. I played about half of Final Fantasy VII on my PS2 I bought for some reason, and the story is probably the best story I've ever experienced in a video game. But the gameplay is just awful. 90% of the time I'm too stupid to know where to go, and when you move 10 feet there's this awful scratchy explosion sound like nails on a chalkboard, and you get put into a lackluster battle. But maybe 8 will be fun. Maybe the most interesting new game is Town. It's made by Game Freak though, so I better not talk about it, or this video will probably get taken down. Actually, maybe that was the Pokemon Company. I don't know. but I don't really care. And finally, Animal Crossing Switch. We didn't really get anything in the way of information on it, and I made a video predicting that Nintendo would make it way better than the previous games in the series, but I'll have to wait and see if I know anything before I can say whether or not I'd buy it. Well, now that I've thoroughly wasted your time talking about the Nintendo Direct after telling myself I wasn't going to make a video on the Nintendo Direct, let's talk about some of the games that came out. We got a ton of games last month, and I'm here to tell you about 5. The biggest ones were Undertale and Dragon Ball FighterZ. We also got things like Final Fantasy XV Pocket Edition, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC, a couple sports games, and that Lifeless Planet thing I said I would get and didn't. Yeah, Undertale was a really fun game. Yes, you heard that right, I actually played a game in my Switch monthly report. Oh shoot, wait, this is the October report now. Well, I'm still a failure. I hear a lot of people badmouth the fanbase for Undertale, but I don't really know anything that happened on the internet, and I've just played the game, and I thought it was pretty great. Perfect length, good price, and some good humor. Not perfect gameplay-wise, but I thought it was well done all around. And then Dragon Ball FighterZ. I don't watch anime. Next month, known by most people as this month, things finally start to pick up again. It only took a year. We've already gotten Mega Man 11 and Super Mario Party, because I'm pretty untimely. Mega Man is apparently good, and Mario Party is apparently pretty good too, depending on who you ask. We also get Starlink, The World Ends With You, and Dark Souls. I know basically nothing about the first two, and the stuff I know about the third, everyone else knows, so yeah, I've got none of my signature fantastic commentary. Like I said, I probably won't talk about sales anymore because it's just me saying, yeah, they were pretty good probably, which nobody wants to hear, so that's that. That's it. Go home. This has concluded your Nintendo Switch October 2018 report. Well, I'm Redkwan. What do you think of the Switch in September? What about October? Do you care about this series? Probably not. Anyways, I'm Redkwan. Thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all later. Goodbye.